Hello. Okay, I filmed this the first time and I fucked up. Also, the angle was really fucking shitty, so I'm doing it again. It is 1 a.m. I'm going to do this. Fast. Okay, basically, the fuck am I saying? Basically, the backstory is I was drawing, as I do, and I was listening to a podcast, as I usually do not, but apparently now I do. Um, I was listening to this podcast called Friend Boys Music Therapy, where there's like three guys, I think, who just they review albums or like music that they wouldn't typically listen to. And I'm like, great, that's like very interesting to me because albums that they don't typically listen to, albums that I typically listen to. So so first it was like, okay, great. I was listening to like the one for Sweetener by Ariana Grande. And it was good, I guess. They had their opinions. Said something about Good Night and Go, and I was like, that's my song. Please don't diss her. It's my song. Yeah, so I listened to about like half of that, and I was like, okay, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about because it was like kind of, I don't know, I kind of got bored, and it was fine. And like, I don't know, like this podcast, like just side note, this podcast is like pretty good from like the 1.5 episodes that I've listened to. Like, it's not a bad podcast. I just get bored of things really easily. And also opinions are different. So then I was like, okay, I don't want to really listen to this anymore. So I scrolled and I was like, okay, there's one for One Direction, Made in the AM. And I'm like, cool, this is like their most critically acclaimed album or whatever. Like, critically acclaimed as in like not only teenage girls will listen to it. That is my point. So I was listening to their review of the album and I was like, okay, this is fine, this is fine. And then after they started saying like every few minutes they would bring up the fact that, oh, if they were a more credible artist, then I would like this song better. And I'm like, what, like, in what way are they not a credible are not credible artists? They like released 5 albums in such a short amount of time. They're very young, and like they sing, like they're an artist, they're artists, they write their own music, or have recently. I do a lot of air quotes. Like they like in the last few years they've been writing their own music. Like, what makes them not credible? They like they sing well, they sell, and like people like them. So in what way are they not credible? So they brought up several times that if whatever song was sung by the Beatles, then it would be much more, I guess, acceptable to like enjoy it. They would be like, oh, I would like this better if it was sung by the Beatles. And I'm like they literally said, they were like, oh, I think it was Olivia. They were like, oh, the song sounds like something the Beatles would sing, but I would like it better if the Beatles sang it. I'm like, what makes the Beatles a more credible artist, or a more, I guess, a better artist than One Direction? What makes them that way? Is it because like they're old and they have like, I mean, not old, but like they're like from longer ago and they have a history and they have, I guess, a legacy or whatever? Like, just because an artist is current and they're like, or somewhat current, and they're doing well, doesn't mean they like, but they don't have a legacy yet because they're like pretty recent. What does that say? Like, that doesn't mean anything. You don't know if they're not going to have a legacy. You don't know, like just because it's not your typical type of music, and just because it's not like from the fucking long time ago 60s, does not mean that it's not like good music. If it's good music, you can admit it's good music, not depending on like the artist. Like, who cares about who the artist is if the song is good? If you like the song, you like the song. You don't have to like bash a song because like, even if you like it, you're like, oh, the song is catchy, or the song is nice, it's fun, it has good production, it has good lyrics. Like, you don't, like, you can like it without saying, oh, like, but the artist is this person. Does the artist really matter? The artist is the person who sings the song. If you like the way the artist sings the song, you like the way the artist sings the song. It doesn't matter who the artist is. Anyway, moving on, that made me think, like, this, like, entire situation, it just made me think of the Harry Styles quote from Rolling Stone magazine, because, okay, he is far better speaker than me. He is more organized in thought. I am rambling as fuck. But here, so I pull up the quote. It says, he's always had a fervent female fandom, and admirably, he has never felt the need to pretend he doesn't love it that way. Quote, they're the most honest, especially if you're talking about teenage girls, but older as well, end quote. Not end quote, but, like, stop, he says. They have that bullshit detector. You want honest people as your audience. We're so past the dumb, outdated narrative of, oh, these people are girls, so they don't know what they're talking about. They're the ones who know what they're talking about. They're the people who listen obsessively, and they fucking own this shit. They're running it. Yes, I agree. Not just because I'm a teenage girl, but, like, there's nothing wrong with teenage girls, you know? That's the thing. Like, the only thing, like I guess the primary thing in your, like, brain development as a teenager is that your prefrontal cortex is not, like, fully functioning, and your amygdala is swollen. This is what I learned in school. So, like, that's, like, the, like, main brain difference in between teenagers and adults. And, like, I guess there's this stereotype of teenage girls being more emotional and whatever, but I think emotional, like, personally, I think emotional connections to music are better than, like, analytical being like, oh, like, the structure of this chord is beautiful, like, that's what makes a song. Like, if you have like, if you're able to make an emotional connection to a song just by listening to it, that, like, I think that means more than just a well-composed song that, like, visually or, like, whatever, like, sonically sounds perfect. I don't know where I'm going with this, actually, to be honest, but anyway, there's nothing wrong with being a teenage girl and having, like, or, like, an artist that has a fandom of mostly teenage girls or, like, mostly young audiences. It doesn't make the music any less than, you know? Because I think, like, younger people, they like more. Like, they like, listen to more, or they watch more, or whatever. Like, I think, like, once you grow out of, like, very young type of things, like for example, for TV, like, once you grow out of, like Dora the Explorer or something, and, like, you start watching, like, Netflix shows. I don't know, I don't watch TV, but, like, once you, like, get into that stage, I don't think there's anything that, like, makes one person a better reviewer or, like, a more credible source when you ask, like, oh, like, is this good? It, like, there's not one thing that makes, like, a 12-year-old girl worse than a 30-year-old man. Like, there's, like, if you're 12 and you suggest a show to me versus if you're 30 and you suggest a show to me, it, like, I'm not going to think, oh, like, just because the girl, like, this 12-year-old, like, likes this show, that means I'm, like, not gonna enjoy it. No. I still don't know where I'm going with this, and it's nearing 10 minutes, so I think I'm gonna end this, but basically my point is, why the fuck do people think that, like, a young female audience, like, someone who has a young female audience is not as good as someone who has, I don't know, like, an older audience? it's just annoying. Fuck. I had a point too, but I had like another point, but I forgot what it was. Sorry, excuse me. Give me like 10 seconds. If I don't think of it, then I'm just dipping. Okay, yeah, wait. I'm just gonna bring up the fact again about the Beatles. Like, actually, no, I'm not. Sorry. No, that's the end. The end. Enjoy this 11-minute video of me ranting. I'm not even gonna like edit it much. I'm just gonna plop it on because I'm lazy and I'm about to go to bed. Enjoy. Share your opinions, share your thoughts. If you have any conclusions, which I do not, this is like an unfinished essay, which is like most of my essays. But if you have anything, share it, drop it in your comments, drop it in the comments, whatever. Yeah, I'm not well spoken at all. Good night, guys.